Hey everyone, and welcome to my live ranking of Paul McCartney albums. And I have to say, this is one video that I've been wanting to make for so long, but I just didn't know how to make it happen or how to do it. But luckily, I was inspired by a video that came out a couple days ago by Zeb, where he was doing some rankings of some bands that he likes, and so I was able to find that website that he used, and lo and behold, they have a template for McCartney albums. So I'm so glad to do this today, and like I'm doing it today in tribute to a good friend of mine that passed away a year from today, named Beans. We all love and miss Beans. He loved McCartney and stuff, so this is for him. Like we're saying these vibes to him in heaven, and Marley Rose, and let's see where we rank some of the McCartney albums, or what I rank them, personally. So let's get to it. And I'm gonna also watch this on my phone as well because sadly, when I'm ranking them, I won't be able to see people's comments, and I want to be able to, be engaged with you all at the same time doing this. So let me pull up this live video and um see where it's at. Let's see. There you are. Video and let's take out my voice. That way I'm not echoing. So let's get to it, shall we? So I'm on the template now, and so we have about 5 tiers here. One is great, meaning albums that I love and I'll listen to all the time. There's the good section, which is albums that are like very good, and I like them a lot. All depends on how often I'm able to listen to them. Fair are albums that I'm like, okay, I see where you're going. I dig it. I dig it. Uh, Probably won't listen to that much, but I dig it. Albums. There's dislike, which albums I would never want to listen to again because I already tried listening to them and I just don't like them. And there's albums that I never listened to, which I think only one album's gonna be on that list. You might be able to guess which album that is, but So we're gonna go down to it, shall we? So the first album on this list is the McCartney album, and I will put McCartney on the great tier. And the reason why I put McCartney on the great tier is because it was the first album that I heard as a kid. My dad got me the cassette tape of it when I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I listened to that cassette tape so much, and I loved it. So it has like a special place in my heart. But everything about it is great. Like it's very bare bones, as McCartney says. It's him by himself. You don't have like a lot of these studio musicians that he needs to put together an album like Klaus Foreman, Ringo, Billy Preston, all the people that was working on John, George, and Ringo's albums. It was just him, all by himself, doing all the instruments, and it was magnificent. Like he did a great job at it. And really shows that he was the talent of the Beatles. So um, I have to put that right there. Um, let's see. The next one is Ram. I'll put Ram at the good tier because like it is a good album. It's a great. It's not. It's a really good album. Yeah, I like it. It has like a lot of great moments in it. Like how many people, Three Legs, Uncle Albert, Smile Away, and one of my favorite songs, Eat at Home. But it's an album that I don't go to all that much, but I recognize that it's a really good album, and it's an amazing album. I'll just put it right there. And the next one is Wings Wildlife. Yeah, you're going on the dislike. Um, I tried giving Wings Wildlife a chance many times, and still, there's only one song I really like on it, which is his cover of "Love Is Strange." Um, the rest of the album, I just really couldn't get into it. Tried to listen to it many times, and it still was not resonated to me. It's sort of like a Lana Del Rey album. I just can't get into Lana Del Rey. Sorry for those Lana Del Rey fans out there, but yeah. Next one is Red Rose Speedway. And I'll put Red Rose Speedway on the fair tier, and that's mainly because I feel that half of the album I liked, and the other half I just didn't really care all that much for. I did like it's basically the first side. I like the first side, like Get on the Right Thing, um, One More Kiss, My Love, but like the rest of it, it just sort of fell flat for me, and I just really couldn't get it totally invested in the album. So I'll put that on fair. So far we have almost every have an album on every tier. So next, let's go to Band on the Run. I'll put Band on the Run on the good tier, and I'll put it before Ram because I think I'll listen to Band on the Run more than Ram. Um, but like that's not saying it's not a great album. It is a great album, but for me personally, it's a good album. It's an album that I really do like. A lot of great moments in it. I just didn't like the song No Word, and Pneumonia is a song that is very, very kind of iffy song for me. But the rest of the album is amazing. Like, of course the main songs like, Band on the Run, Jet, Let Me Roll It, 1985, which I think the reason why I placed it on good is because I think I hear those songs way too many times. So it's something that I'm just not interested in listening to all that much. So I'll put that right there. Next one is Venus and Mars, and I'll place Venus and Mars. Oh my god, it's somewhere between great and good. So I'll put Venus and Mars on the good tier, and I'll put it even before Band on the Run because I think that I'll listen to Venus and Mars even more than Band on the Run and Venus and Mars, and this album also has like a lot of great moments, probably more great moments than Band on the Run. You have the title track, and you have Rockstar, and then you have, Magneto Titanium Man. You gave me the answer is a good track. I really love the horns and letting go, and of course you have the banger, which is Listen to What the Man Said, which oh my god, that's such a fucking awesome song. But the rest of the album, I could take it or leave it. I don't like Treat Her Gently, and I didn't like the Crossroads stuff. And it took me a long while just to get into the song Call Me Back Again. Um, but I do have to give props to Denny Lane because he did a great vocal on Spirits of Ancient Egypt. That's a really good track. Like I love that we finally got his thing on it. As a matter of fact, he did a song that was on the original double album on Red Road Speedway, and I really love that song well. And if that song would have been on Red Road Speedway, it would have made like that album a stronger album, as well as if they would have added Seaside Woman, which they never did. So yeah, Paul sort of like fell short on that decision. Um, Wings at the Speed of Sound. I'm gonna put that on a dislike one. But I will put it before Wings Wildlife. Um, and the thing is, like, aside from, Let Him In and Warm and Beautiful and Silly Love Songs, I think the rest of the album I just didn't really care for. I think Time to Hide by Danny Lane, I like the live version of Time to Hide. I just don't like the album version for some reason. Um, but yeah, it's an album that I just don't go to all that often. So I'll just put that right there. Let's go to London Town. London Town, I'll put it on the fair tier, but I'll put it before Red Rose Speedway because I feel like the moments on the first side have like a lot of strong impact. For me, I love the title track. I love Cafe on the Left Bank. I'm Carrying. Backwards Traveler is a great track. Um, I do like Girlfriend, and like I do like With a Little Love, and I have to, and you know what? Um, I've Had Enough is like a great rocker. I just love I Had Enough. Huh, I think I'm probably looking at London Town wrong. No, it's good where it's at. I'm fine where it's at. I think that if it would have included Mulligan Tire and Girl School, then it probably would have been on the good tier. It definitely would have moved up to the good tier. Um, Back to the Egg. I'll I'll put Back to the Egg on the good tier, or should I put it on the great tier? Okay, I'll put it on the great tier, but I'll put it but like McCartney will still go before Back to the Egg, but I do love Back to the Egg as a whole album. I just think that there's like so many great moments on that. You have shoot, it's like, where do you start with that album? Like, I do like Reception. I do like that little introduction kind of track. I do love, like Getting Closer again and again and again. Oh Siamser, Spin It On, Arrow Through Me, Baby's Request, The Rockestra, Good to See You. Oh my God, so many great moments on this album. I could just play this album front to back and I will never get tired of it, So I'll put that on the great tier. Um, I think I'll also put, oh my God. Um, I'd put McCartney 2 also on the great tier, and I'll probably put McCartney 2 after Back to the Egg. Again, that's an album that I can listen to all the way through and I never get tired of it. Every time I listen to it, I just find myself just like discovering more things about it that I really really like. It's the first McCartney album, just so many great ideas going on all the time and just makes it a very cohesive album. Not bad for an album that was never supposed to have been an album, but he just did a remarkable job on McCartney too. Goes to show you, like, what comes out when you're not really trying. He wasn't really trying to make an album, but he made a solid album with McCartney too. Next, we're going to go to Tug of War, and I'll put Tug of War on the great tier, and I'll put that before the McCartney album. Because I really do love the Tug of War album. Everything about it, I just like, I love Take It Away. I love What's That You're Doing, Somebody Who Cares, um, Ballroom Dancing, Pound of Sinking, Dress Me Up as a Soldier, and of course, I love Ebony and Ivory. Such a great, one of my favorite, duets that he does. And so I'll put that on great. I'll listen to Tug of War all the time and never get tired. Um, Next is Pipes of Peace, which I'll put that on the good tier, and I'll put that before Venus and Mars because I feel like there's also no. Okay, I'm putting that between Venus and Mars, Man on the Run, or oh my God, it fluctuates there just thinking about it because there is like a lot of great moments on Pipes of Peace. I do like, Keep Undercover, The Other Me, So Bad, Arrow Through Me. Oh, not Arrow Through Me, Through Our Love. And I do like The Man. I'm not crazy about Say, but I do like The Man. You know what? I'm gonna have to put this at the end. Because I just realized that the rest of the album I just did not like. Oh no. Wait a minute. I'm forgetting about Average Person and Sweetest Little Show. So no, it's fine right to that. It's good, right? It's good right there. I like it. Um Next is the soundtrack for Give My Regards to Broad Street. And I will put that um I'll put it at fair, but I'll put it like, before I put it over London Town because there is a lot of great moments on Game of Regrets to Broad Street. I do love, Not Such a Bad Boy, No Values, and So Bad. I like this. As a matter of fact, I like the So Bad version of Broad Street than I do the Pipes of Peace version. Um, I'm not crazy about the whole remake of Silly Love Songs. I do love the remake of Long and Runny Road, and I also do like No More Lonely Nights. But it's again, it's like an album that I just don't go to all that often unless I just want to listen to Not Such a Bad Boy, So Bad, and No Values. And I was always mad that they left off So Bad off the vinyl um edition. That saddens me. Next one is Press to Play, and I'll put Press to Play. To me, it is a great fucking album. So I'm gonna put that um right there between Tug of War and the McCartney album. Oh my god, I just love Press to Play so much. I So many great ideas going on at all the same time. I love Stranglehold, Good Times Coming, Talk More Talk, Footprints, Only Love Remains, Press. I like the single version of Pretty Little Head. I love Move Over Busker and Angry. And I like even like the bonus tracks on that one, like It's Not True, Right Away, Tough on a Tightrope, as well as like the other bonus tracks that they were out later on, like Spies Like Us and Once Upon a Long Ago. Like, oh my god, this album is such a beautiful album. I just don't know why people rag on it. I think people need to get laid or something like that. But I love it. Um, the next one is um the Russian album, Cobalt Beast ECP. And I'll put that over Venus and Mars. Again, I love this album. If people don't like it because it's not a polished album, well, I think that's the point. It's not supposed to be a polished album. It's basically a jam. And he does amazing renditions of, you know, 20 Flight Rock, Lucille, Don't Get Around Much Anymore, Cracking Up, Just Because, I'm Gonna Be a Will Someday, Midnight Special, and I'm in Love Again. He just totally rocks. This if there's an alternate title for this album, it would have been Paul McCartney Rocks, which I'm glad they did a compilation of that when they were promoting the Flowers in the Dirt stuff. But yeah, Paul McCartney does rock, especially on this album. I just love it. Takes me back. And speaking of Flowers in the Dirt, let's go to Flowers in the Dirt. And I put Flowers in the Dirt right there. It is my number one favorite McCartney album in the world. I'll listen to Flowers in the Dirt all the time. I'll never get tired. It's an album that I'll play to from start to finish. Everything about it is amazing. I love the work that he's doing with this album with some some great producers like Mitchell Froom, Neil Dorsman, Trevor Horn, um, George Martin's involved in it as well. Um, so many beautiful and amazing songs. My Brave Face, Figure of Eight, this one, Rough Ride. Oh my god, I just am head over heels in love with Flowers in the Dirt. Next one is Off the Ground, and I'll put Off the Ground. Um, I have to put Off the Ground after um Press to Play, or should it be between Press and Play and Tug of War? It's an album that could fluctuate, but again, it's an album that I could listen to all the time. It's an amazing album. This time it's him with his band that he toured with the addition of Blair Cunningham, which came in um, during the whole MTV Unplugged thing. He did an amazing job. And I even love the bonus tracks on this album too. I like the stuff that was on the B sides, like Long Leather Coat, Sweet Sweet Memory, Style Style, I Can't Imagine, Cosmically Conscious, the full version of it, um, Kicking Around No More. It was such a beautiful album. I remember when it came out, all the hype behind it. Such a beautiful album. I love Off the Ground. And I can't wait for that to get like an archive edition as well as press to play. Those are gonna be I'll be pre-ordering those once those get announced. Next is Flaming Pie. And I'll put Flaming Pie right yeah, I'll put Flaming Pie right there between McCartney and Back to the Egg. I remember the summer of 1997 when it came out. The songs did feel like a summer album to me. The World Tonight, If You Wanna, Flaming Pie, Heaven on a Sunday, Really Love You, Souvenir. Um, it was to me, it was like a summer bang. So you could hear her voice resonating throughout the entire album. So I'll put Flaming Pie right there. Next is Run Devil Run, and I'll put Run Devil Run um after uh the Russian album, because I like the Russian album more, but I do love Run Devil Run. He gets together with Chris Thomas, who we worked with on Back to the Egg, and in this album, and we have Dave Gilmour throughout the entire album, whereas he's only someone that plays on tracks sporadically on different albums, like Back to the Egg, Flowers in the Dirt, Give Me Regards to Broad Street. He's throughout this album, and also has like the late great Mick Green, who played on the Russian album as well. So that's why those albums could always be like Volume 1, Volume 2 for me, because they just connect with each other. But again, it has like a lot of great moments, and also love the title track "Run Devil Run," and also love his version of "She Said Yeah." I listen to those all the time. They're amazing. Next is Driving Rain. And I'll put Driving Rain right after um right after Ram. Because I do like Driving Rain. Isn't that a surprise? It's a great I, I have to give him the credit. I have to give him the credit that, it was his first album after the passing of Linda. So he's gonna be like on shaky ground. He's gonna be on shaky ground trying to get himself like back up doing an album of completely new material. Even though he wrote a couple songs for Run to Run, Driving Rain was like his first album full of new material and stuff, and so yeah. Next is we have Chaos and Creation. And I'll put Chaos and Creation on the good. And I'll put that after no, I'll put that between Ram and Driving Rain, because the material was starting to get better. He was working with Nigel Godrich, and I think he challenged him a bit, and sort of like in the way that George Martin would. And so he did like a very beautiful job on the Chaos and Creation, and a lot of great songs on it, like Jenny Wren, Fine Line, Friends to Go, and a few others. Um, so I'll put that right there. Next is Memory Almost Full. Um, I'll put Memory Almost Full. Possibly. I'll have to put it on the fair, because I still need to listen to that album as a whole again. It's been a while, but if I were to judge it by the how I remember it, I'll put it as fair, because I think I only liked like the first four tracks on it, which was Dance Tonight, See Your Sunshine, Ever Present Past, and like only only Mama Knows. I'd love Only Mama Knows. That could have been like a Wing song right there. Um, but the rest of the album, I think if I tend to forget a lot about those other songs, like Vintage Clothes, Gratitude. I think I made fun of Gratitude so many times. Um, Nod Your Head. I totally spaced out on that song, so I'll put that right there. Kisses on the Bottom. I have to put that on the never listened to tier because I have the CD, but I have not yet listened to the album. So I still haven't, like made my decision on that one. Um, Now we have New. And I'll put New a- after listening to the new album with Tom and Andy when they did their stream. I think it moved up to the point where it was first like what was like right here, but then it advanced itself all the way up to I have to put it right there. I have to put Neil right there at good. he I After listening to it again, like what Tom and Andy did a stream, it surprised me. I realized that it was such a great, amazing album, and I just don't know where my head was at the time it came out. I just remember I wasn't all that invested in it when it came out, but I think once it did, I was like, okay, yeah, great. This I like it now. Now it's a great album. Next one is um Egypt Station. And I'll put Egypt Station at the fair column, but it's like I still need to listen to it as a whole again. Um, but I feel like some of the material on this one was stronger than Memory All's Full. I like, Come On to Me. I like Fuck You. I like um Who Cares? Who Cares is a dynamite song. And of course I love Despite repeated warnings of dangers up ahead. Oh my god, I love that song so much. I know people hate that song, but I fucking love Despite Repeated Warnings. So it has to be right there on fair. And plus I'm running out of space on right here, so it's like if only there's a way to extend this, or I don't know. But it has a chance to coming up here. It does have a chance to come up here, so it's not a strong a firm fare. It's like it's somewhere in between. So I'm just gonna put it right there right now. Same as McCartney 3. I'll put that in the fair section right there, and I'll put that. Mm, I'll probably put McCartney 3 right there. Because I feel like I need to listen to the album again one more time. But so far from I heard it from it, I did like it. There's some songs that I know people didn't like. I think it's like Deep Deep Feeling, and I do like When Winter Comes, Find My Way. I think of Beans when I hear the song Women and Wives. He was always singing that song, so I have to put that right there. And so I believe that's my ranking. Even though in this thing, they've added Wings Greatest on this one. So should I add Wings Greatest to the thing? For anyone that's watching, comment and let me know what you think. Should I add Wings Greatest? Because if I add it, then I think I know where I want to place it. Um, I'll give everybody like about 5 seconds to comment. Should I add Wings Greatest? So let's do this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nobody's commenting, so I guess I just won't add Wings Greatest. Um, you know what? I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna add Wings Greatest, and I'll put Wings Greatest between McCartney and Flaming Pie. Or should it be between Flame Pie and Back to the Egg. I'll put it right there. Because I do remember Wings Greatest, and I still listen to it. It's one of my favorite compilations. The only thing that suffered from it was they did not include listen to what the man said, which should have been on it, but they didn't include it. But I'll add it right there. So that is my entire ranking. So from the great, we're gonna have Flowers in the Dirt, Tug of War, Press to Play, Off the Ground, um, the McCartney album, which truthfully, in my own personal rankings I've always done, I've always saw those as my 1 through 5. Everything else could always fluctuate. But I'm glad to finally see this list. So after McCartney, we do have Flaming Pie, Wings Greatest, Back to the Egg, and McCartney 2. On the good tier, we're going to have the Russian album, Cobalt BCCP, Run Devil Run, Venus and Mars, New, Band on the Run, Ram, um, Chaos and Creation, Driving Rain, and Pipes of Peace. In the fair section, we're going to have Egypt Station, Memory Almost Full, McCartney 3, Gilmore Garza Rod Street, London Town, and Red Rose Speedway. Albums I dislike are Wings to Speed of Sound, but Wings to Speed of Sound could always be between fair and dislike. So, it's not going to be like a hard dislike. But I do dislike Wings Wildlife. I'll never listen to that album ever again. And I still need to listen to Kisses on the Bottom. So once I listen to Kisses from the Bottom, as well as we evaluating Egypt Station, Memory Almost Full, and the McCartney 3 album, then I'll probably will come back and see where this is and see if anything else moves. What if I add more albums to the great thing? Because I do want to add Cool Bobby CCP right there. I'm upgrading that to good to great. And let's see if it could. Oh, it opens up. It opens up another thing. Okay, so I'm adding Run Devil Run to the Russian album to the great thing. So there we go. There we go, people. Wow. Oh, that took like a lot of anxiety off of me. You know what? Since that was able to do that, Egypt Station's gonna come right here. Memory Almost Full is gonna come right here. Those will remain. So yeah. So now it's changed. It's changed a lot. Like now because I could expand the tier list. Like I don't have to. So there we go, people. That's my list as of right now. And RAM is puzzling me so much right now. No, it's good where it's at. Everything is good at where it's at right now. So that's my list, people. That is my entire ranking of McCartney albums. Let me know what you think about my ranking, and let me know what you will rank yours. Because I'm interested to know. But in most part, I'm proud of my ranking. In a way, I do see New going up a bit. Because I think after watching Tom and Andy's, I really dug the album. It's such a great album. I like it. So I think in the coming weeks, I see New going to the great tier, but I don't know. But I'm gonna keep this template up on my computer, and then when I come back to it or something like that, I'll see how much changes. But I always know this, that the top 5 will never change. It'll always stay that way. So yeah. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I wish you a great Sunday. And we miss you, Beans. We love you. Um, and take care, everybody.